Okay, I just wanted to show you 3 common errors I see when students are using the quadratic formula. Now remember, find a good website that will show you how to solve the quadratic formula. Usually you can find one where you put in an A value, B value, and C value, and then it will show you all the steps so you can find where you're making your error, and hopefully you'll find one that you like. I'm not going to tell you which one I like because they're changing all the time, and some have more pop-up ads, so just try to find a good one that works for you. So the first one, I've just shown little pieces of the quadratic formula here. If you are at this point of the quadratic formula, what I see a lot of students do here is they'll get this correct, they'll make that sign correct, they'll get this part correct, and then what happens here is when they square this, they write -9, and that would, so that's at that point you don't have any chance of getting the problem correctly, okay? Because this right here, you have to remember, is b squared, and that will always, okay, that's always going to produce a positive number up there, unless for some reason your b value was 0, okay, then it would be 0. But so be careful right there, okay? So that's going to be positive, all right? So careful. And then another thing I see students do is at this point of the quadratic formula, they do this again, okay, they'll get that 5, and then they'll get their plus or minus, and they might even get this part right, but they get kind of lazy and they put over 2 like this, and they only get this 7, radical 7i over 2, and then they miss the problem because this fraction bar, don't be lazy with it, you know, make sure to just kind of overemphasize that it stretches the whole length of the numerator. Okay? So, and then the last one I see is probably the most common one, is that if you see these numbers up here match, I'll see students go like this, okay, and cross those out. But that doesn't work on the other problems we looked at. We have to think about there's a 4 here, a 1 here, and a 4 here. And all of the numbers have to be divisible by the same thing. And since this is a 1 up front here, we can't do the simplifying. And the problem with just, at this point, the problem is just done. That's it, okay? And so just to show you another quick one here, if you had x equals -2 plus or minus 10 radical 6 over 4, now this is even, and this is even. We could divide all of those by 2, okay? But it has to be all of them, okay? All of them, all of those are even. So I'll divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2, and I can write my answer out as -1 plus or minus 5 radical 6 over 2. Okay, but all the pieces have to be divisible. So hopefully, with a good solver on the web, you can identify your errors and kind of take extra caution to not make these errors. That's it for the quadratic formula and 14.3.